Ready for Revolution, Brother Muhammad here. Pray all is well. Gonna give this moment to populate a little bit before we get started. Okay, class is definitely in session. Everywhere you like. We're gonna see who's up doing the thing with us. Hope everyone's having a safe and enjoyable holiday season. We're gonna get this in, and we're gonna use the example of today's successes. Okay, which I see every day as being a successful day. Any day above ground is a good day. It's just a matter of how we activate. Okay, so today this conversation is born out of a series of events, that proves that there is reward with tenacity, that there's reward with steadfastness, with faith, but more importantly, with activity. So I want to share with you this stream, and it's entitled Success is Inconvenient. Success is inconvenient. And I want you to understand a couple of points. There's a few points I have here on the board. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but I'll call them out because these are thoughts that came to mind after several three-way conversations that were held today, a couple of presentations that were done today. Of course, it also blossomed out of our power call this morning that Wealth Builders have Monday through Saturday. It blossomed a little further out in just having random and open and exciting discussions with our business partners and Wealth Builders Worldwide, Caribars International. So with that being said, I want to share a little bit with you about success and the inconvenience of it. I wrote out this note that says the odds of becoming successful and wealthy. The odds. I'm not a gambler. I'm not a betting man. I will say, however, that due to the type of education we received in society, due to the lack of formal education that we may have received in terms of money and how money works and how success is attained through it, by understanding what true money is, the lack of that education puts us in serious doubt of ever achieving both success and wealth at the same time. There are people who are wealthy and they were grandfathered into it, maybe born into it to some respects. Others stumble across it in wealth, but that does not make you successful because you have it, and without the proper knowledge, the fool and the money will soon part. So the odds of becoming successful and wealthy are truly based on what you know. It's based on what you know. It's not the same mindset that we have as the employee or the mindset of the consumer, where we always look to broker a deal or we look for someone to give us something like a job. Those things come with a certain level of resume and with a certain mental shift. And that mental shift tells us that it's about who we know. Well, when you're wealthy, it's not about that. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you and for what. When you're striving in the shift, okay? But when you're operating from the mind of the employee or the consumer, it's hard to shake off the irrelevant. Okay? So personal and professional mastery is a must. There's a personal level of mastery and there's a professional level of mastery that must be attained. Now, I'm making this stream for those who will see it in replay. It's 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And it's a Saturday night. Now, what are the odds or the chances of our gathering a large population of social media to watch this stream live? Well, the answer is it's slim and none. But that is not the point. The point is that when you're serious about your business, when you're serious about your success, I'm trying to lend the example to you that success at times is inconvenient. Because you want for your people what you want for yourself. I want to duplicate in you that thing that is duplicatable toward your success. And personal mastery of who you are, where you are, what you desire is extremely important because it comes with a level of conviction. It comes with a level of education. It comes with a level of steadfastness and tenacity. You have to produce these attitudes in order to achieve success. I'm meeting with you at 9:20 in the evening. Some people are being entertained right now. They may be out at the movies, they might be out for a late dinner, or they may be at a party, or they might be celebrating the holiday season. They might be on vacation. All of that is fine. Okay? But your odds of becoming successful and wealthy are narrowed when you don't make time for the inconvenience, when you don't make time to be what you need to be. All right? Personal and professional mastery. What do I mean by personal mastery? It's a mind shift, folks. It's the understanding that you have to have a complete, total makeover of your mental. Because what you're striving for is unheard of in society of debtors. It's unheard of in a society of slaves. It's unheard of in a society where you were brought here to be that slave. Okay? So in economics only means, at the root of this meaning, both in Greek and Latin, it means mastery of the household. Managing household. That's economics. Economics in corporate or world things is a line between liabilities and assets. Employees are liabilities because they come at a cost. As a result, you're paid for the value of the job and not the value you bring to the table. Not for the talent or the skill set or the gift you bring to the table. You know, that's not what you're paid for. So when you take on a job and you work 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and retire with 40% less income than what you were earning while you were working, then you understand that you have given away well over 40,000 hours of your personal time for money. You sold it for money, and what you sold it for wasn't a true value system. All right? But in the mind shift that you have to have in personal mastery, you have to equip yourself with an education that goes beyond your peers. Now, you wouldn't know to do that unless you develop what's known as self-mastery, and self-mastery only comes when something pierces that veil of the illusion. What is the illusion? The illusion is that you need a job to survive. You need a job because society tells you that the only way you can prosper is to work for somebody else. But you never thought about, not you personally, but many of us never thought about the fact that the very people that we're working for, they have something of their own. They've created something for themselves, and they hired you to be their residual or produce their residual income. They hired you so they don't have to be in the brick and mortar building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They hired you so they don't have to drive the vehicles that go from pillar to post. They hired you so they don't have to be the teller. They hired you so they don't have to be the cashier and the grocer and the produce person and the delivery truck and the stocker at overnight. They hire you to help them go for self. Your mind shift should tell you, hey, I can easily do for me what others are doing for themselves. That's the mind shift that is absolutely required. But it goes deeper. You have to align yourself with like minds. You have to be connected with people who feed your dreams. You have to be connected with people who feed your goals. You have to be connected with people who share some level of the same aspirations going in the same direction. You got to know what you want. So personal mastery involves a growth of self-awareness and then surrounding yourself with the tools by which you can feed that awareness to a level, to a belief level that exudes out of that comes out of your attitude. All right? Your attitude is a product of your belief. And the more you feed your belief, the more you gain the different books. And man, I have so many books here, it's ridiculous. I have tons of books that I keep everywhere. I'm reading most of the time. I'm doing audio books when I'm driving. Okay. I'm on power calls. I'm on freedom calls. I'm on empowerment calls. I make sure that I follow the streams of other striving wealth builders. I stay in the lane of motivational speakers. I do all the things to surround my mind with the tools required to fuel the belief system. And as I fuel my belief system, my attitude grows, my outlook on life grows. And as a result, what I present to others attracts. Because I guarantee you, folks, there are people out here who want what you're striving for. There are people out here who are where you are and they're looking for you. So the personal mastery comes, and then the professional mastery comes. There's a way you walk, there's a way you talk, there's a way you look, there's a way you ride, there's a way you drive. There's an attitude by which you present yourself. Hey, Brother Marcus Cook. There's an attitude by the way by which you present yourself, because it's all rooted in your belief. But your belief is only fueled by your study of your business, handling your business. Okay? Success is not accidental. These are notes that I wrote down throughout the day that really just sort of came into focus, and I'm sharing with you. Success isn't accidental. Wealthy can be accidental. You can become wealthy accidentally rather. But success, no. Success, you don't trip into success. Success requires sacrifice. It requires commitment. It requires self-education. It requires massive action. Success requires sacrifice. You're on a stream with me at now. It's almost 10 o'clock at night on the Eastern Seaboard. You are on a stream with me tonight because you've made a commitment to figure out how you can do more with the time that you have towards making yourself successful. All right? So you're doing these things. And in your approach to it, you're actually sorting, eliminating a playing field. You're going to find the more you strive to be successful, the less time you'll find to entertain yourself. Those things won't be as entertaining anymore. I used to watch TV all the time. I did other things that were productive, things that I consider productive, related to my faith, related to my cultural activity, related to my family. There's a lot of things I did that I felt and still believe they're successful or on the path of success. But I cut out television. Why did I cut out the television? Because I don't need nobody to tell me bad news. If you're a true friend, you're going to tell me more and faster than any idiot box. What happens when you wake up in the morning and you turn on the 4:30, 5 o'clock news, 6, 7 a.m. news? What happens? You fill your mind with the start of your day with all kind of mayhem, robberies, murders, court proceedings, impeachments, thefts, bombings, you name it. Everything but something productive. And then at 6 p.m., you might do the same thing. Oh, wait, You go to bed at night. Some of you are trained to even look at the news at night before you go to bed. And all you do is feed your mind with the same garbage to start the day over. You ever heard this saying that, hey, don't go to bed angry? How it's a bad idea to go to bed angry. Okay, you can go to bed angry, and your mind is full of negativity, and you'll wake up in the morning in pain. You'll wake up in the morning achy. You'll wake up in the morning resentful for being able to stand on 2 feet. And then you'll turn on the news to create the same kind of habit to go along with your day, and you'll make yourself non-productive. So I don't turn on the television. I don't do the news thing. I'm not saying that you should not have time carved out to spend with your family and find ways that you all entertain each other, but what I'm saying to you is I create a mindset around me. I sacrifice certain things, and what I sacrifice is entertainment. I sacrifice the entertainment because I don't have a lot of time. I am one of those men who have more years behind me than I have ahead of me. So being consciously aware of that, I have to be productive. I have to move and allow every part of my being to feed the reality I wish to create for myself, my family, and the future of my family's name. So success is not accidental. You have to work at it. It requires sacrifice. It requires a commitment. It requires a self-education. But then once all those tools are in place, it requires, folks, massive action. Massive action. If you treat your striving for success as casual, if you take a casual attitude towards success, then you have a casual outcome. If you have a casual attitude, you'll produce a casual outcome. In massive action, we utilize whatever time we have in a day, but we do something every day, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 5 hours, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour and a half. Whatever time you carve out for yourself in a day, you utilize that time to produce massive action. So there's certain times of the day you don't see me on a stream, or you don't catch me on a telephone, or you don't get me through email, or I don't respond in those certain times, because those times I've already carved out to work on my destiny. So we make a list, right? And I say oft times that a list is the distance between where you are and where you want to be. I make a list of everybody I intend to contact on a daily basis. I write down 100 names per day. You're saying that's impossible. That's not impossible. The psychologists say that, and sociologists say that the average person that lives at least 30 years of life knows 2,000 people on a first name basis. Well, I've doubled that. You see, that's 30 times 2. So I know at least 4,000 people on a first name basis. I really believe I know more than that. So what I do every day, I write down 100 names. Why do you write it? There's sayings that said, there's a saying that I hear in Wealth Builders that in order to think, you got to put it to ink. All right. So when you write your information, you're actually writing down a commitment. You're making a contract with yourself, with your mind, with your attitude, with your conviction that you're going to accomplish a task. So I see Brother Amar Berry is on the stream with us, my other business partner. So if I say I'm going to call Amar Berry, and I write down Amar's phone number, that's a contract I've made with myself. You see? And I have my time carved out. But wait a minute, I don't stop there. I'll do the same with Brother Marcus. I'll do the same thing with Brother Dr. Mark Exum. I'll do the same thing with Sister Janet Jenkins. I'll write the names down and their phone numbers down. I'm making a contract with myself to make sure that I put myself in position for my massive action plan. So then, as I have that list, then when 10 o'clock arrives or 9:45 or 8:15 or 7:12, whatever the time is. Whether I have 15 minutes, whether I have 30 minutes, I'm going to do nothing but call those names that I wrote down. Why? Because I have an opportunity for them. And in an opportunity, I use that time to share it. That's called prospecting. If you're a gold miner, you prospect. If you're a GOAL miner, you prospect. See, so I reach out and I say, look, hey, I got something I really want you to take a look at, and I'm talking to people that I know. That list is what's called in networking your warm list. Okay. I'm talking to people that I know. I'm talking to gardeners. I'm talking to landscapers. I'm talking to plumbers. I'm talking to the mailman. I'm talking to the dry cleaner attendant. I'm talking to the gas station. I'm talking to, I go to Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm talking to the Dunkin' Donuts cashier. I'm talking to everybody by name and phone number. And when my time to make massive action comes, I pick up the cell phone or I pick up the landline and I start calling. And hey, I know your time is valuable. I'm not one to waste it. Look, do you keep your financial options open? I have something I want to share with you. Can I text it to you? Great. Let's get back together in a couple of days and let me know what you think. Hang up. Move on to the next one. Hang up. Move on to the next one. Hang up. Move on to the next one. In that same list that I've made, I've wrote down the action behind it. So this is Amar. I gave him an invite. He wants a presentation. I sent him the presentation. Talk to Janet. She wants a presentation. Sent her the presentation. I talked to Marcus. I did an invite. He wants the presentation. Sent him the invitation. If I didn't reach somebody, then I'll make sure that I follow back up. And with everybody that I work on in my next massive action moment, I will follow up. You see, why? Because your fortune is in your follow-up. That's why God has blessed me to be as successful as I am. And mind you, I'm nowhere near where I'm going to be. Hey, Brother Bill Rockman, I'm sorry, but I meant to shout you out earlier. I'm nowhere near where I intend to be. Nowhere near. Yeah, I have dreams, family. But in those dreams, I understand it requires sacrifice. I understand that. It requires a commitment. I understand that. It requires self-education. I understand that. And it requires massive action. Let me go back to self-education a minute. Because I don't think I really touched on that in the way that we should. When we talk about an opportunity such as Karatbars International, Wealth Builders Worldwide, when we talk about what we have in front of us, where we save gold, we tell a lot of people, and we have the potential of making a lot of money. Okay? We do. All right? But look, this is a system, family, that's been in existence since 2011. 2011. So now we're looking at 9 years. 9 years that Karatbars International has been established, and Wealth Builders Worldwide, we've been around 100,000 of us. In 6 years, that's grown to 100,000 plus affiliates. And we're 6 years. We're coming into year number 6 as an organization behind the tutelage of Mr. Ty and Mrs. Valerie Best. Okay? 6 years. And has grown to 100,000 plus. And we're going for 1 million members by the end of 2020. How do we do it? You see? How do we not only gain the membership, but how do we gain the financial success? Well, it comes from duplication. I know a lot of us bring a lot of skills to the table. All of us come into the world, not into the world, but into this arena with some gift from the Creator. We all have a certain skill set, which is really a gift from your Creator. Okay? However, in this world of wealth building, there's a formula that I encourage all of you, in the name of everything self-educating, to embark on. Simplicity creates duplication. Simplicity creates duplication, and duplication creates success. In another way of saying it, simplicity creates duplication, duplication creates wealth. All right? I may have an idea of things I'd like to do my way, but I'm introduced to a world of people who've been around 6+ years, and a lot of that brain trust has been in networking 25 years or more, and a lot of that brain trust have had creditable financial results. So what are your financial goals? What are some of your material goals? And do you expect to get those goals from Pookie and Nook if they grew up in the same arena that you have and have not attained that level that you seek or desire? They can roll with you. You can roll with them as long as they're moving towards someone who has done it, because it's about having a simple roadmap or outline to follow. If you're on a road and you're trying to get to Toledo, Ohio, and you're on the highway and you see all the signs leading to the next exit or leading to Toledo, just because you see the sign doesn't mean you arrived. It's a direction. It's a roadmap. It means you're on the right course. So all you have to do is follow the directions of those that have gotten to Toledo. Same way with wealth building. How do I attain massive wealth? See, because that's what we're going for. We're just not going on no Rudy Poo nothing. We're talking about massive wealth, and we're talking about massive action. Well, how do you attain any of that? Well, you follow those who have done it. And that's where the self-education comes in. You have so much between the ears to dismiss, to move to the side, to get out the way, so you see the path and direction your wealth building leaders are providing you. And if you follow that path, you're absolutely guaranteed success. And what I implore you to do, family, as you ride that road to success, as you stay on that road, stay on that path, as you continue to succeed, then once you stabilize yourself, look for ways to maybe revisit some of the skill sets you brought to the table to enhance what you have, but gain something first. So self-education, I'm encouraging you to stay with the process, MAP, Massive Action Plan. Where do you find the Massive Action Plan? You find it in Wealth Builders Worldwide. You find it at wealthbuildersworldwide.info, wealthbuildersworldwide.net, or mywbw.net. It gives you a whole world. It's a university by which you can learn how to take massive action. You plug in, you find all the calendar of events that we do with our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week training modules that we have. You learn to rally around live events in your area, and you make it to those events, and you make sure that you're in the place to be, because every wealth builder will take care of each other. That we can promise you. We can absolutely promise you that. You know, looking at some of this, some of the comments here, and I really appreciate you all. Yes, Aou to you too. Yes, Brother Marcus, you're right. He said time is our most valuable asset. It doesn't come back, folks. It doesn't come back. As I said earlier, I have more years behind me than I have ahead of me. I can't control what happened yesterday. I can't, it's gone. You know, but where I am now, where I intend to be, I know it takes a certain level of sacrifice. It takes a certain level of commitment. It takes a certain level of education. It takes a self-education, and it takes a certain level of massive action to get the results I desire. You have to be one of conviction. You have to have conviction. Conviction comes from knowing where you want to go, have an idea where you want to be. Many of us don't have it yet. I personally do. There's a reason why I do. All of us will develop our why. In the meantime, unite around the things that you know clearly. that here you have an opportunity where if you just acquire a package, save gold, at least 1 gram of gold a day, and you tell us, I mean, not day, a month, and you tell as many people as you can about the opportunity, and you will grow your wealth, your values, your asset value will grow. Your education, your financial literacy will grow. Look, you're not being taught about this in school. I'm sorry. I don't care how many degrees we have. I appreciate the degrees, but none of them give you a degree in financial literacy. None of them. Nobody's teaching you about gold. And then even I saw some streams today in social media where people were ridiculing the idea of us saving in gold. All right. I mean, you can ridicule it, but chances are that most people that are doing that, they don't even own any gold. You know, I was a part of a presentation earlier today in Plainfield, New Jersey, and it was a beautiful discussion. It was a beautiful discussion. Now I really appreciate Brother Mustafa and Sister Janetta and Brother Roland Muhammad and Brother Jihad Billers for allowing me to be a part. In that discussion, there was a conversation about a program that was once in existence, but it was shut down by the government. You know, didn't know the reasons for it, but they were very professional. They came back with a letter to everybody that was involved, said, look, I'm sorry this thing didn't go as we planned. And I'm sure they found ways to assist people into recouping whatever they might have invested, but they were forced to shut down by way of the federal government. You know, we have an opportunity here where you can acquire physical gold. We have an opportunity where you can acquire gold-linked cryptocurrency. We have an opportunity that's coming up where you can literally hold shares in the gold standard bank. You have opportunities with our $1 trillion technology industry. You have opportunity in our $1 trillion telecommunication industry, our $1 trillion gold industry. We have a $1 trillion coin currency exchange. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. So the reason I mentioned those that came about in the past, it is because, I mean, the reason they don't exist now, one of the main reasons is that you have to be under an agreement with governments when you deal in anything that remotely looks like or relates to currency. Karatbars International is currently in 146 countries. This means we have patented, sealed agreements that allows us to provide our incremental gold, whether it be in cash gold volume, whether it be in cryptocurrency volume, whether it be in physical classic gold volume. We can exchange it as a medium of exchange in any country we have the agreement with. In fact, we have a prepaid MasterCard where our commissions, if you don't know this, you can go anywhere in the world where it's accepted, and all you have to do is use our MasterCard with the chip that's inserted, and when you put that MasterCard in, it'll give you the equal of what you're looking for in the denomination of the country that you're currently in. You have to have patented agreements in order for something like that to take place. Okay, I'm wrapping this up. So we have an opportunity in front of us, folks. I just wanted to share in this moment to present an example of what's inconvenient. It'll be more convenient for many of us to look at this in playback. It'll be more convenient, and those of you who are here, mind you, I'd appreciate it if you like our channel. Eric Ture Muhammad is be on that channel. You can like it, subscribe to it. We appreciate it. But it's going to be easier for many people to see this in playback, in replay, because we do not have, we have not yet made the commitment to ourselves to be inconvenienced in our striving towards success. And where many of us have, so many more have not. So we have an opportunity. Why do I do so many streams late night? Because it's only late night in the US on the East Coast, but it's 3 hours earlier on the West Coast, 5 hours earlier in the South Pacific, actually a day and some change in the South Pacific, 5 hours earlier in Hawaii. As a matter of fact, uh, I'm into the next day in Europe right now. I'm in the next day in Africa, many nations in Africa right now. And many of these spaces, I have team members. And it allows me the opportunity to speak with all of them. You have to learn how to work your territories. Take massive action. I want you to do as a homework assignment, look up map and look up territory. And you'll understand that they're not the same thing. Okay? And if you follow the map, you can cover your territory. All right? So, Brother Marcus, I'm going to read this. It says, that's right, 24K 999.9 LBMA certified gold is tier 1. That means it's no risk, family. No risk appreciating asset. It maintains monetary value and increases in value and purchasing power over time. Listen, when I was in, thank you, brother, for the share. When I first came into Carrot Bars, and I always talk about how I was tricked in the Carrot Bars. People come many ways. One day I'll share the whole trick, and I'll maybe the trickster and I, meaning my wife, Alami, we'll do a stream together. But when we came, gold was about 11.98 or so, 11.97, 11.98 an ounce. That was just a little more than a year ago. And now gold is $1,510 an ounce. And our only commitment in this was to save gold, at least 1 gram of gold a month. And we've grown to 2,000 people, and we're all saving gold, at least 1 gram of gold a month. And on top of it, when in the loyalty program of Carrot Bars, if you know anything about the overview at all, you hear us talk about often how this is the only company where you receive free gold and free gold-linked cryptocurrency. Well, it comes out of a loyalty program that's only available inside of Carrot Bars International. So you want to save gold. You want to be consistent with it, save consecutive months, and encourage others to do the same. And FedEx will pull up to your door every month with free gold. I'm telling you, as Africa is my mother, this is truly an opportunity of a lifetime. It's the greatest wealth transfer anywhere to be found, and you have the opportunity now. So shout out to the UK where I'm based. Shout out to Nigeria where I'm based. Shout out to Ghana where I'm based. Shout out into Napoli, Italy, brother Zion and brother John Ekube there. A shout out to all the teams around the world. Just landed a digital contract with some affiliates in China. I'm very happy and excited over the opportunity, the wealth building opportunity that this afforded me, and the leveraging is affording my family. And I know if it works for a dummy like me, just think about the brilliance that's on this stream. If it works for me, I know it'll work for you, because everybody can save gold. Everybody can trade that little dollar while it still has some value and exchange it for its face value in pure gold. Gold is money, family. Thank you for listening. That's right, Brother Marcus. Carrot Bars for Life, 3 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. I'll be doing a live Facebook presentation. I will see all of us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live, doing a presentation. Peace and power forward. I hope you found some value in this stream.